Alright, you guys ready?
No.
No! Class!
No. Yes.
Luke!
No.
Wow. Wow, there's, I feel the love in here today. Man. Alright, anyway. Cost of home ownership. Now,
It's expensive.
I will talk about a lot of the stuff that we've been going over, and from personal experience, you know, buying houses and property and loans. I've had several properties. I have several rental and other things to go along with it. So, what I need for you guys is pay attention. Anyway, all right, cost of home ownership. So, what we're doing here is starting a mortgage, long-term installment loan for the purpose of buying a home. Down payment is the portion of the sale price of the home that the buyer initially pays to the seller. The amount of the mortgage is the difference between the sale price and the down payment. Fixed mortgage rate is the same monthly payment during the entire time of the loan. Variable rate mortgages, known as adjustable rate mortgages, ARMs, have payment amounts that change from time to time depending on changes in the interest rate. Now, I will tell you right now, don't ever do one of these. This ARM. So, when I bought my property in about 3 years ago, I'm paying less than 3% interest on my property. If I were to use a adjustable rate, what is the current market value right now? What is the current rates? It's over 7%.
Damn.
So that would have been differences of hundreds of thousands of dollars in the end. That's why. These right here, when the bank started doing this a lot, caused the 2009 housing crisis / bubble, where everyone lost their houses in about 2009 because the house was not as worth as much as what they paid for it. That's what caused this right here. So don't do it. Ever. Most lending institutions require that the buyer pay one or more points at the time of closing, that is, at the time in which that the mortgage begins. This is super important, so I know you guys are highlighting or underlining or pay attention right here. Seth, that's you. A point is a one-time charge that equals 1% of the loan amount. Now, you could buy points for the loan amount, or you could lower your interest rate. I had the opportunity to do that on one of my loans, one of my home loans. Seth, please put that away. Thank you. All right, so what I was able to do is I paid a 1% fee, but I was able to lower my interest rate. So in the end, me paying a couple extra $1,000 right now saved me tens of thousands in the long term. That's how much it's actually going to save you. Sometimes it could be as much as $100,000. That's if you pay off the loan for the entirety of the loan. But, you know, you buy a house, you know it's time to move on, time to move somewhere else, you sell the house. So I was able to save about $10,000 in saving interest. All right, next thing. For example, 2 points means that the buyer must pay 2% of the loan amount at closing. A document called the Truth in Lending Closure statement shows that the buyer's APR for the mortgage. So you have to actually have all this listed when you're buying a mortgage. An additional lending institution can require that part of the monthly payment be deposited into an escrow account, an account used by the lender to pay real estate taxes and insurance. So about maybe a week or more ago, I was contacted by someone that works at a bank. They're looking for high school, recent grads or soon to grad high school students that can do basic math like this. They're trying to hire people straight out of high school to be cashiers, to be tellers, to work in the bank. Eventually you'll get to this stuff here, but they're talking about starting pay over $16, $18 an hour to be a teller. You could stay at that bank, at that job forever and retire there because you can move up. There's opportunity to move up. So they contacted me because I teach this class as dual enrollment, looking for students, recent grads. So there is a couple people I have contacted that said they weren't going to go to college, that looking for cash job, or like, not a cash job, like a job right after school, like instead of going to college or doing something or moving out. So, but yeah, it is possible. Okay, and you could make really good money right off of this. So, you might want to pay attention because this is important. You could get a job doing this stuff afterwards. See this payment formula? Don't do it. Use a calculator. Use a calculator, use a financial solver. All right, so we're going to go down the list and we're going to find all these right here. Item by item, you guys are going to do step by step, writing down all these things. Writing them all down as we go. So, A. So to figure out A, let's calculate A. It says the price of a home is $315,000. The bank requires 10% down payment and 2 points at the time of closing. The cost of the home is financed with a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 4.5%. Are you writing that down? You need something to write with? First thing we're going to do is find the required down payment.
31,500.
Yes, it is, but how did we get there?
Because it says the bank requires a 10% down payment.
10% down payment, so I'm going to pull up the calculator on this.
Oh, okay.
So, I know, come on, seriously, I got to show people because some people don't pay attention most of the time.
Well, that feels like
30.
a personal problem.
1,500 times, now, if it, 10%, which is going to be 0.10, there's my 10%. So you guys are writing this stuff down step by step because you are going to forget in between here and there. So please don't do that. So my down payment is going to be $31,500. So you're going to write that for option A. The answer for A is what?
31,500.
Very good, 31,500. Now for B, find the amount of the mortgage. Okay, so amount of the mortgage, I'm doing a down payment. So am I paying for the whole $315,000? Am I financing the whole $315,000?
No,
No, I'm not. Why?
because you have a mortgage.
Did I just make a giant payment on it?
Yes.
Okay, so that's important. I don't want to have to finance that because I just made a payment. You don't want to pay for that twice. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take my 31,500 minus 31,500. Did I say it wrong? It's 315,000. Yes, I did, didn't I? 315,000 minus 31,500. Someone named Miss Walden?
Oh.
Miss Walden.
Nah, this is what happens when you don't show
I'm
up to
scared.
things. It sends you more notes.
Why?
Anyway, so let's calculate the mortgage, hit enter. And I know you people are writing this down because you're going to forget what we're doing while we're doing it. So I need you to write this down for later, right?
This is for B?
Yes, this is going to be for B. This is the amount of the mortgage.
I like that they're giving me scholarships that I don't qualify for.
Actually,
You have to be Pell Grant eligible,
Oh, yeah.
which I'm not.
oh yeah, forgot.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's take a look at the next part. The next part is going to be part C. How much must be paid for the 2 points at closing? Let's calculate 2 points now. So I'm going to take my 283,500 and now I'm going to try and figure out my 2 points. Each point is 1%. So I need to try and figure out what 2% is. So that's going to be times 0.02. There's my 2% right there.
670.
So my 2%, my amount of money I have to put down at closing is right here. Right? I need to come up with that one. So if I'm making more payments, what am I going to do with this amount right here? Am I going to still finance 283,500?
No, you're gonna subtract it.
I'm going to subtract it. Very good. So part C. Part C
Monthly payment.
says we got, what's it, 5,000 what?
670.
5,670. So for part C, you're going to write that the closing cost was 5,670. And hopefully you wrote down the steps to get it. Find the monthly payment excluding escrow, taxes, and insurance. We'll deal with that eventually. That's its own monster. So let's take a look and figure out how much money I need to actually finance now. Minus my 2 points. So here we have, this is the amount that we are going to finance now. Almost.
This is B.
And then you divide it by.
We already had B, but we are doing another deduction again. So the mortgage was before I subtracted 2 points. This is after 2 points. So this right here is going to be my PV. This is the amount of money that I need to borrow. So let's go to the financial solver. So 277,830.
That's like supposed to be negative.
Yes, it is. So how many years is this loan?
30 years.
So 30 times 12. So 30 times 12, because that's going to be how many I need to have. That's how many payments I'm going to make. My interest rate is
4.5.
4.5. Okay. So right here, it's going to be a negative
277.
Now, since this is a loan,
Your future.
this is negative. My future value, I want to be
0.
0. So PPY means how many payments per year? Seth. You know that's kind of important, right? Okay. So PPY 12, CPY 12 at the end. So let's calculate the payment. So 1407.72. There's my monthly payment, 1407.72. So this is my answer to let's see, 1407.
That's the monthly payment, right?
D. Yeah.
Monthly payment, yes. So that's D. D is my 1407.72. And write yourself a note. How'd you get there? I did the financial solver. I wrote down my N, I wrote down my percent, I wrote down my PV. Step by step, I want you guys to be able to do this. So now the next thing we're going to do, find the total interest paid over 30 years. So let's go ahead and go back. Hit escape. So over 30 years, I paid 360 payments, right?
Yeah, so 506,000.
Times my monthly payment, what's it? 1407 point,
772.
there you go. So right here, my 360 payments, that's a payment every month for 30 years of 1407.72. I'm going to calculate that, hit enter.
779.2.
Let me see if I could actually get it to show. No, still only comes up that, so it's 2-0, so it comes up at 20 at the end. So how much is that? That's $506,779.20. That's a lot more than what I borrowed, right? So this is everything you end up paying. But now to figure out the interest, how would I figure out just the interest amount that I paid?
Subtract.
Very good. Subtract it from the amount of money I borrowed. Subtract it from the amount of money I borrowed. So I'm going to take this number and I'm going to subtract the money I borrowed, which is 277,830. So I paid $228,949.29 just in interest. That's interest only. If you think about it, if you loan someone $277,000, after 30 years, you made $228,000 just by loaning them money. So, banking, that's a good place to be. Okay, got to sell people money. All right, question, concerns, complaints on that one? So we gone through monthly payment, find the total interest paid over 30 years. And once we get down to these right here, we're going to pick up on this later on. So these going to continue the notes on, when did I see you again? Thursday, my dudes. So we're going to use the remainder of today. I'm not giving you the homework yet. I want you guys to finish the 8.6, please.